I finished high school here at South Oldham High School out in Crestwood, Kentucky. I ended up going to getting enrolled at Indiana University Southeast. I was drinking a lot of alcohol and partying a lot.
We didn't really know that the problem was mental illness was developing yet. However, after he graduated, he seemed to kind of start isolating himself and start behaving differently.
Then I started seeing symptoms in my mid to late 20s. All of a sudden I was drinking, of course. That really led up to my psychotic episode. I started seeing unusual things. I was living in an apartment complex off of Bardstown Road, and I was wandering the streets, and the police came, and they asked me who I was, and I couldn't even tell them my name. I was so out of it. They ended up taking me to U of L Hospital. There was a man there that interviewed me from Wellspring, and he diagnosed me. My first diagnosis, paranoid schizophrenia. This was in the March of 2012. That was a crucial time in my life because at least I knew now what was making me the way I was. And I ended up staying at the Artery House for about 8 months. Got sobered up. It taught me how to live with my illness.
I first met Nick when he came to Artery House. It was one of our transitional programs at Wellspring, and it was a program for adults experiencing serious mental illness. Clients would stay there for a period of about 6 to 12 months, learning independent living skills, medication management, getting connected with resources and providers, and ultimately graduate into independent living.
And that was a turning point for a long journey and recovery road for Nick's well-being.
I started attending Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance. Currently, I still go to those DBSA meetings, and on occasion, I'll facilitate those meetings. I finally decided to get a job after 10 years. In February of 2022, I got involved with the IPS supported employment.
Employment was one of his long-term goals, and when he felt like he was in a place where he was, ready to move forward with that, his therapist referred him to the IPS supported employment group. We call ourselves Wellspring Works. What I helped Nick realize is that although he hadn't had a paid job in 10 years, he had been a part of the Depression Bipolar Support Alliance for the past 10 years. Attending those meetings and also facilitating those meetings and putting all of that together in a resume really boosted his confidence.
By March, the next month, I had a job, and it was at Goodwill. She hired me, Jeannie hired me, is my boss. She hired me on the spot after 10 years of no work. That's amazing. I never thought it could happen to me like that. And this last year has been the best year of my life. Let me tell you something. I get up in the mornings, I have a purpose. I go and do my job. It gives me something to do so I'm not isolating in my apartment. I'll be 50 next year. I never thought I'd live past 21, to be honest with you. So I never really thought about my future. But as I get older, I realize I think I have a solid future ahead of me.
He wants to give back, and he wants to feel fulfilled and just be a part of making the world a better place.
I talked to Nick a lot about mental illness and how he feels. And I'm so proud of him that he was able to stay hopeful and willing, patient, so long, because it's a long road. We're talking 11 years.
I've been blessed to have Wellspring in my life for the last 10 or 11 years, because I would be out on the streets if I didn't. They're the ones that got me to the CSU. They're the ones that got me to the Artery House. They're the ones that got me a job. So It's all because of Wellspring. And I just want to thank you.